is I want to say, all right, if button single clicked, right? It's that simple on Blix. Like, if the button is single clicked, if that is true, do something. In this case, it's I want current color to go up by 1. Right? So if it's 0, it's 1. It's 1, it's 2, 3, 4, so on. But I don't want it to go to 4 and 5 and 6 because I'm going to run out. I only have red, yellow, green, blue. So again, this is just some C++ basic stuff, which is mod 4. All this means is it's going to wrap at 4. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I can keep clicking it forever. It'll keep wrapping around. So let's see. I'm just cleaning this up a little bit. Oh, I need to save this. We're going to put this on my desktop, and we're going to call it SHUX game. Hold on, I need to get all my stuff out. Can I make it? Yeah, yes, I can. I can make it auto-assign. So, oh, I see. You're wondering if I can make it auto-assign in like a field. So I've got a field of blinks, and I want it to be 2 of each. That is quite challenging. This is something that we deal with blinks a lot, is that in typical video game development in a Unity situation or an Unreal Engine, or really any kind of, programming for a phone or a computer, you have access to everyone at once. Like on a frame, if you want to declare something, it just becomes true because you can speak to the whole program. Blinks are independent. In this cluster are 9 independently running computers who can only speak to their immediate neighbors. I can't really issue commands to the field. I don't know if that makes sense. It is a persistent challenge in making Blinks games, and it often requires you to rethink how to do things. So, for instance, before I finish this up, I want to give an example of a time when we needed to do what you're suggesting and found a new way to do it, which is when we made the game Wham, which is like a whack-a-mole game. We needed to make sure that they didn't all turn on, but that some of them turned on. And we wanted them to be in interesting arrangements and in interesting amounts. But without the ability to command en masse, we didn't know how to do that. What we ended up doing, which is really fascinating, and I'm actually going to open this up really quick. Hopefully this is interesting. If you look at the code for Wham, oh boy, it's really... Sorry, I'm not used to the font being this large. It's very silly. Hold on. I can't parse it at this size. Okay, right here. During the game, we play what's called Conway's Game of Life. Each blink quietly, it basically puts its hand up. I'm going to be a mole next round. And then it reads its neighborhood. And it goes, huh, that's too many. And it puts its hand down. Or, huh. Or if it doesn't have its hand up, it's 50-50. It goes, that's not enough. And it puts its hand up. And the game is constantly doing this in the background. It's not visible to the user. It's totally just happening. And it's happening like about 24 times a second. But it's going, oh, yes, no, maybe yes, no. And what you end up with is when I call an end to that, a timer ends, and I go, that's it. That's what we're going to do. You get these super interesting patterns. They don't clump. They don't have big voids. They don't have big hotspots. Because we thought of this new sort of swarm behavior way to do it. So I realized that was a long explanation for me kind of saying, no, I can't assign 2 of each. But I think it's important to understand that part of designing Blinks games is solving problems in really unusual ways. But for now, I just want to show this because I think it's cool that, look, this is 15 lines, and that's being generous because a lot of people, I'm, giving extra lines to stuff, given space. I did not get my spudger out. Oh, no. Spudger. Okay. So I've taken the battery out of my Blink. I've exposed the programming port. I am now going to plug in my programmer. This is the publishing tool. So when I do this, I will be permanently making this Blink play this game. Not permanently, sorry. I will be teaching this Blink this game until I teach it something else. The reason I was a little late today and what we're working on today, and I think you might have seen it on our social media, is sending out new developer kits. I don't even have one yet, which allow you to publish, to test games actually much faster than I'm doing. And I'm doing it the old way because I'm set in my ways about this. But I'm going to install this game's little install button on the top right. And takes a second. Uploading. It's gonna go. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. I'm gonna put the battery back. Now, if I've done it all correctly, which I seem to have, I want to make sure this is visible. Okay. Yes. So I've got a Blink showing a red light, as you would expect. It is setting color red, but if I click it, it turns yellow. If I click it, turns green, blue, back to red. So potentially, as we're trying out this set collection game, sorry, that's a I should not do that on stream. You should take your batteries out with the spudger, not by banging them against the table. Don't do that. Sorry, it's bad behavior. Sorry, I've got Crown Fall open in the background here. What am I doing? Cool. So we've got this going from red to yellow to green to blue. Something I want to add to this before we sort of start working more on like the game, just because I wanted to build a little prototyping tool for this game, is I want to also make it so that if the button is double clicked, right? If that happens, I want current color to become a random color between 0 and 3. So random 3 will give me a random color between 0 and 3. It's inclusive. I've actually had a lot of conversations about how to do randomness. And since I am now using random, I need to call this randomize function in the top in setup. And that is because if I don't call that, I will get the same series of random numbers every time I boot up the game, which can be useful if you are trying to make a game with, say, a sort of predictable level curve or something. Like you could calibrate it, but I don't need that. I just want a random color. And to that point, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to set this right from the start. I want it to boot to a random color. I don't want it to be red every time I start. So let's install this. All right. This is the other thing. It's like my installation process, like I said, is the old way. The new developer kits install faster because you're not sort of like overwriting the way that I'm doing every time. But great, this one booted up yellow. If I single click, I'm still getting to cycle through the colors. If I double click, I'm just going to get a random color. Now, technically, I may occasionally get the same color. That just went from red to red. I'm not excluding the color I'm currently on. But this could be a good prototyping tool, right? So now that I've installed that game on this Blink, what I want to do, and let's see if this will work. I realize it's going to be tiny. Let's see. Okay. Everyone bear with me for a second. Is that visible to everybody? I know it's tiny. But is this all right? Yeah. Oh, hold on. No, I think it's fine. I'm just going to install this game on the rest of these. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. One of the batteries. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a much more technical question than I can answer. That's unfortunately more of a John and Josh sort of question. Um, I'm imagining that what you're talking about. All right, I'm gonna put my camera up because I don't think this is showing anything. I imagine that what you're talking about is dealing with the fact that that because sometimes they fall asleep and then you have to click them to wake them up. That occasionally what you'll end up doing is clicking and making a significant action within the game. Uh, yeah, okay. Um, so this is a problem we've had with certain games. We have put in a catch to prevent it in the games where it really is an actual problem. So things like Paintbrush, which can fall asleep. Things like so actually some of the new games have this problem or had this problem. We had to put in this sort of single press catch. This blink out of here, it's running out of batteries. Yeah, there is some talk with Josh about potentially moving this wake state check to the click functions, or really it's the button press function. Yeah, it's tricky because single click is press and release, but button press is the thing that actually technically yeah. Yeah, but I think this is definitely a concern. The good news is that the sort of the library can evolve without having to update the hardware. So when a game installs, it's installing more than just the commands of that game. It is technically carrying with it library commands. So as we find errors like this or things that are a little less user friendly, as you sort of pointed out, very easy for Josh to go, okay, I'll fix this, and then if you want to program a game with it, it'll just work, and it'll work with a blink that someone bought months, years ago. So yeah, that is definitely one of the things on our list. Like I said, in the games where it was causing issues, we added a check, but you're right, it's a manual check. But hello, Jonathan West, by the way. Seems like you've just joined us. We are trying to make a game, and I've just made a real tiny little prototyping tool where you need to match colors to. Well, okay. It's a solo game about trying to get through a certain number of doorways, maybe? And so I'll respond to that in a second. We are trying to make a thing where you collect blinks in a set to sort of pass through a doorway or something to that effect. So right now, all I've made is a thing that if you click it, it cycles through 4 colors, and if you double click, you just get a random color on that individual blink. And I thought this would be a good sort of prototyping start. Hello, everyone, and I know that there's a comment in the chat about there's an alternate, a complete, not like an updated Blinks, a completely alternate Blinks library on our developer forum right now, and that is like top priority for us to make sure that that is available to public. Like, please publish games for that. There are games being made with it that are amazing. The work that he's doing on it is amazing, and so basically none of the games in this current set are built with it. But once this Kickstarter goes up and I can stop worrying about these games and start worrying about the next games, I'm going to start testing the unholy bejesus out of the engine and the games made in it, so that they can be included in the next release. Yeah. Okay. All right, so if we're going to think more about a game at this point, so I've made this little technical thing. It's 21 lines, just makes a couple of colors. What could this game look like? I'm imagining if we're talking about making sets to pass something, I'm thinking, what about, okay, ready? Here's an idea. Think about, if anyone's played Astro, Astro has an individual piece that you have to connect to a bunch of other little pieces to pull resources from them. But what if it went sort of the other way? What if a piece that was a door made a demand? I want this set. I want 3 reds and a green. I want 2 blues and a red, or something like that. And you had to meet that demand within a certain period of time. So this thing comes up, makes a demand, and then if you can meet that demand within the time limit, you get a point. That sound interesting? Something that I could probably do relatively quickly. That sound good? Yeah, all right, great. I got one yes, that's good enough for me. So this is a little bit more of a complicated thing, and I'm not 100% sure. Rather, I'm not 100% sure how to make this in an entertaining way. Let's see, hold on. I have to think about this. I realize it's going to be boring for a second. Well, we know that... All right. We know we can define a couple of things. We know that a blink is either a doorway or not, right? So that's Boolean. I like this idea of running through the deck. Actually, I'm going to try to incorporate that when we get towards the end. So I can either be a door or not a door, right? And I already am keeping track of my current color, right? That's something I'm keeping track of. So if I'm one of these loose pieces, I'm not a door, that's false, and I have a color, 0 through 3. Okay, so that's all I need for that sort of person. But if I'm a door, I need an array of values. I need my ask, because my ask is going to be face specific. I need a red on this face, a blue on this face, and yellow on this face, and a green on this face, like reverse Astro. So in that case, I need a door combo. I need a door combination. 6, and here's the tricky part. I need a new color, which is off. Red, yellow, green, blue, off. So this will be good. It means that the door combo can have a I don't want anyone there, and that'll be value 4. Yeah. Okay. I got it now. Okay. So we're going to default to everyone off. Okay. You know what? That's a problem. That's not what they should say. They're all 4s. Sorry. Okay. So, door combo. Now in this case, I'm going to start to break this out. There are 2 different behaviors. I don't have this one loop that everyone does. I actually have a door loop and a not door loop. So we're going to call void door loop. Right, we'll fill that in later. And void, what are we going to call the other ones? We'll call them cards, right? We'll call them cards. Card loop. The card loop is exactly what we already have. We're just for right now, the card loop is just going to literally be what we have. An inside loop, if am door loop. Otherwise, door loop. Okay. This should be fine. Oh no, can't do path loop yet because I'm not even close to there. All I want right now is a sort of rapid fire make some stuff. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is tricky. No, this will be fine. Okay. So, what does the door do every frame? Well, it is either waiting for an answer, it is looking for something, or it is not, or it's achieved victory. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna make a timer. Door timer. This governs how long I can stay available to get a result, and I'm going to define door code time to be 10 seconds, 10,000 milliseconds. The first thing the door loop is going to do is check if it's expired. If door timer is expired, right, then I'm going to reset door timer. Door timer.set. Door, what is it called? Code time. Okay, and then I'm gonna randomize code. I'm gonna randomize the door code, and the way we're gonna do that is just straight up randomize it. Sorry, I'm so thrown off by how large the code is. So if you're not familiar, I'm sure most of you who are watching who are Blinx developers are. For each face is just a convenience function that runs a for loop 6 times, 0 through 5. So I'm going to run it, and I'm just going to say that door code f equals random 4. Now, this is not going to make interesting door codes. This is going to make truly random door codes. Later on, if I was going to really develop this game and yeah, I was going to really develop this game, I would want to make a much more elaborate function for randomizing the door code. I would want it to be oh, well, it should have 2 colors adjacent that are the same, and it should always have this, that, and the other thing, and whatever. But I'm not going to do that. If it's expired, I'm going to reset it and randomize the door code. Otherwise, I'm just going to display my door code. So, another for each face loop. For each face, set color on face. There's another set color function, except this one is face specific. So instead of running the whole blink, it just does one face, which I'll specify. I am going to do door. I'm going to do card colors. Door combo F. I know that's weird on face F. This, you know what I don't have? I don't have the ability to make a door. That's a problem. That means I need that. So when I'm in card loop, I'm going to add a triple click. If button multi clicked, if button click count equals 3, right am door equals 2. Okay. And while I'm at it, while I've got the code in hand, just going to go to door loop and make it so that if I am triple clicked while I'm a door, I'm going to become not a door. And all I did here was I just said if I'm clicked 3 times in a row as a door, don't be a door anymore. And if I'm clicked 3 times as not a door, become a door. I'm also going to lower this timer to 2 seconds because I want to be able to see if it works. So just to run through this, I've got a new timer, got a door code. So what the door is doing now is every time the timer expires, it randomizes the door code. That is which colors are needed to unlock. And it resets itself. Now, technically, I have a very small chance of producing a completely blank door code, but again, like I said, we're not worrying about the algorithm for making a door code right now. I just want to make it do something. So I think it's time to install this. Oh, I've typed something wrong. There you go. Oh, whoops, my bad. Let's see. Oh, come on! Don't play games with me. For each face F. What's wrong with this? What do they not like about this? Yep, missing that. Sorry. Oh, come on! Don't do this. Oh, yeah, because it's called door combo. That's my bad. Yeah, I'm so used to being able to scroll to the top so much faster that the font is so big right now. It's so silly. Let's see. Okay, great. Okay, so it is doing it. Let me see if this is visible. How do we feel about that? That is not really functionally visible. Okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to turn off the light. And is that any better? Nope, that is somehow worse. All right, well, you have to take my word for it. Every 2 seconds, this is changing the faces here. So I'm getting red, yellow, blank. I'm getting blue, yellow, green, blank. Red, green, red, blank. Like, I'm getting a bunch of different door combos. Now, they're not lasting that long, which is very frustrating. So I'm going to put this back to 10 seconds, because that's what we wanted originally. And real quick, just reinstall so we have it. Let's see. Okay. All right, so now it stays for quite some time. This one is green, red, green, blue, yellow, red. This is okay. And then after 10 seconds, it changes. This is fine. This will work for now. Like I said, if I was going to make this for real, not just in like a demo sense, I'd make a much more interesting algorithm for door combos. But we're not doing that right now. What I do want to do is I want to start talking about communication. These things need to tell each other what colors they are. So we're going to start to get into a whole bunch of sort of shady stuff real quick. I would normally do this in a little bit more of a modular way, but because we're just doing this quick, I'm just going to do it here. So at the end of card loop, I need to communicate. Essentially, all I need to communicate is if I'm a card and what color I am. That's all I care about. So I'm going to make a byte called sent data. And this one, this is the little piece of information that I'm going to put out. Oh yeah, Mary, is this going to be recorded? That check on that? I don't know. I am going to put out really just the information, color, and MI thing. So for my purposes, again, this is some technical stuff, but I can communicate 6 bits of information, which is essentially the values 0 through 63. I need 4 values to talk about color, and then one value to say if I'm a door or not, which technically makes it 8 possible outcomes, but you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to use something called bitwise. I don't really understand bitwise in like a deep, meaningful sense. I know how to use it, but I'm not like great at it. So I'm just going to show you sort of how I would do it. So first, I have my Boolean amDoor. And I'm going to bitwise bit shift it 2 over. And then I'm going to add, what do I call it? What do I call it in this? Current color. I know it's weird they're like in parentheses, but that's just how I like to do it. I like to keep them in parentheses. So right now what this is going to show you, and I'm going to just do this while I'm talking about it. There are probably much smarter ways to visualize this process, but this is how I visualize communication on Blinks. You can send 6 bits. That means a 0 or a 1. So I think of it as 6 positions. I have A, B, C, D, E, and F. amDoor is a Boolean. It's a 0 or a 1. So I only need one position to do that in. So I'm going to use position D. Position D is amDoor. So I'm bit shifting it 2. It is the value 1. It would be here. I bit shift 1, 2, it goes there. And I use this little pipe, which is sort of, I could just use plus, but I've been told by smarter people than me that this is better. And I want to believe them. And then current color technically is the values 0 through 4, which I can't do, really. But I know that the cards are never going to be anything but 0 through 3. So I can communicate that with 2 bits. It's 00, 01, 10, and 11. Again, it's binary stuff, but it's fine. And so I'm just going to leave that where it is. So E and F are current color. They will be combinations of 0s and 1s that will tell me that. And to actually send this, I have to set value sent on all faces. Send data. And then boom. Now when I am a card, I am constantly screaming the numbers 0 through 3. Every frame, I'm just like, oh yeah, sorry, if someone's asking, all repos for every game, they're either on the Move38 repo, or they're on the person who designed the game originally. All those repos are open, or sometimes you can find them on mine on Reluctant Pirate. You can find some of my like prototypes, but I usually keep them on there when they're bad and not working yet. I like to keep the Move38 ones nice. Yeah, everything is totally open. We technically, if somebody wanted to develop a game and felt very strongly that it should be secret, I suppose it's within their rights to do it. But nobody's done that, and we don't want to do that. So probably in perpetuity, all Blinks games will probably be open source, because it's just kind of the vibe of our communities that everyone wants to share this stuff. So I'm now screaming these numbers. I need to do the exact same thing when I'm a door. I don't really, No, I don't. I'm not gonna, and I'll tell you why in just a second. I'm just compiling this, make sure it works. My God, this game is... Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, it's only 39%. I thought it was 69%, and I was really worried. I was like, how is it so huge? Okay. So, now that the cards are always screaming, I need the doors to be listening. Now, in order to listen, I need to build a couple of what I usually call listener or convenience functions. Anyone who's read through any of the Blinks code, especially the more recent Blinks code, will see this, will be familiar with this, which is I often make things called. So this is going to be get amDoor. And this is how I decode the data that I get. So when I get A, B, C, D, E, F from somebody and it's all stacked up data, I need to be able to yoink the specific parts of it. So I need to be able to grab the specific parts of it. So in this case, I need just the third digit. So I am going to return data shift 2. I'm basically just reversing the bit shift I did, put that 1 over, and then I'm just smushing the others out of the equation and throwing it over. So that's going to get amDoor. And then I want to get card color. And that is actually going to return data &3. This is a bitwise thing. I have a loose understanding of why this happens. I don't have a computer science background. I know it's because 3 in binary is 1, 1, so it's receiving true on this. It doesn't matter. All you need to know is that &3 will just give you the last 2 values. That's all you need to know for blinks here. So these will be great. This will mean that when I talk to a neighbor, I can retrieve that data from them super easily. So we're happy with that. Now, in order to listen, right, I need this guy. I need the door to be listening. So look at neighbors. Determine if the combo has been made. This is kind of complex. Yeah, thank you, Board Game Brewer. Yeah, so it ignores a bunch of stuff we don't need. Again, computer science stuff that I don't fully understand, but again, as is happening, smarter, more qualified people have told me it will work, and it has worked in practice, and that's as much as I need. Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. I think we could probably do this more often. But let me sort of work on this a little bit. I know this is going to get a little boring, but I know that I need to look at all the faces. I need to look at all the faces. Ooh, I'm going to make this much easier. Right. Correct neighbors. 0. I'm going to go through, and on each face, I'm going to look at my neighbor. I'm going to say, is that what I want to see there? If the answer is yes, I'm going to say correct neighbors ++. That's great. That's going to be perfect. Right, yes. Okay, so on each of my faces, first thing I want to do is ask, do I even have a neighbor? Right? Because that's a good question. If is value received on face expired. Oh no, I've typed this wrong. There we go. So is value received on face expired is a function that returns true if I don't have a neighbor. I know that's a strange way of putting it, but it doesn't really matter. There's reasons. By putting the exclamation point, I'm saying I want the opposite. So is it not expired? So if that's true, it means I have a neighbor. And you will see this singular line of code in more Blinks games than any other line of code. It typed exactly this way, with the word neighbor with an exclamation point, because this is just how I do it. Let's see. Okay. If value received on face expired, I've got a neighbor. Great. So, if door combo F is less than 4. So, specifically what this means is this face wants a neighbor. That's good. If it doesn't want a neighbor, ooh, this is tricky. Okay, all right. Okay, we've got something interesting here. Because there are some times that not having a neighbor is good. So this is no neighbor. I'm going to do the same thing. If it equals 4, wants no neighbor. That's good. And I'm going to say correct neighbors plus. Okay. So if I have a neighbor, I'm going to have to do some more work. If I don't have a neighbor, I ask, well, do I not want a neighbor? And if I never wanted a neighbor in the first place, correct neighbors plus. What does OHP stand for? Oh, never mind. But we need to go back to the faces that want neighbors. In this case, byte neighbor color equals get, we call it card color of get last value received on face. Did I type that wrong? I just can't type these words. Okay, so I am saving the neighbor's color, which is my get card color, my convenience function down here, of get last value received on face, which is what I was given. So get last value received on face is going to return all 6 digits and potentially a much larger, more complicated message. And get card color is just going to whittle it down to just the stuff we need. Cool. And then we can ask the most important question. If neighbor color equals door combo, so if this neighbor is the color of this door combo, correct neighbors plus plus. I've done it. Okay. Up. Oh, it didn't like that. What'd I do? Whoops. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, kids. You have to put an F. You have to determine, you have to tell it which face to check, and I hadn't. Okay. Is this going? Yeah. Okay. So this right now is all invisible. But what we know now is that this is going to be looking around, saying, I want red. Are you red? I want yellow. Are you yellow? I want no one. Are you no one? Arduino does not have autocomplete. This is unfortunately a weakness of this Arduino IDE. This is not the only way. There are other IDEs you can, I believe some other people have some ways of doing it. I honestly, it would be more annoying if there were more commands. But because the Blinks library is relatively minimal, because it's all written in like human level language, I don't know. I just got used to it. But that is a good thing to watch out for. I will also say that it does have this highlighting. So this turned red because I typed it correctly. So that's something. But yeah, certainly Arduino has its quirks. But it is a minimalist, as you can tell. I mean, look at the interface. There's nothing there. A fairly minimalist IDE, but I like it. I've never had too much of a problem with it. And like I said, like, it's not that many functions. So, okay. So this, I need to think about this for a second. It's asking all of its friends. So I need some consequence of getting it right. So I've done it. This is the end of neighborhood check loop. Right? So I've now looked at my whole neighborhood, and this byte that I made at the beginning, correct neighbors, is going to be some value. Right? If correct neighbors equals 6, right? Because that's what we want. That's, oh my god, we did it. I don't know. Well, the problem is that what I would normally do, like architecturally, is I would probably just do a celebration and then go to the next door. But you know, okay, I got it. I know we haven't defined is solved. I'm gonna do that up here. We're gonna make a thing called is solved. Rule is solved equals false. So if you get it right, is solved equals true. Right? Now, I want to do something. Every time it resets, where's this? Where's resetting? Here we go. I also reset is solved. Solved equals false. So here's what this is going to do. It's just going to be solved for the remainder of its 10 seconds. I know this isn't much, but just what we're going to do. And to show that it is solved, I am going to change. So this is currently how doors display. They show the color they want on the face. I'm going to change that. If it's solved, else. Whoops. Don't mind me. Okay. So if you're not solved, you're going to show what you want. And if you are solved, you're going to set color white. And then this is where it gets fun. Set color on face red random. This is going to look real weird. And you're not, unfortunately, folks at home are not going to get the benefit of seeing this strange confetti I'm about to make. I am just going to make a weird little celebration state that is just going to look wackadoodle. Okay. How confident am I this is going to work on the first blush? Not super confident. I'm going to do something. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give myself 20 entire seconds to complete one puzzle. Okay. So, let's see how this goes. And Mary, I may ask you to do that thing where I turn my screen share off. Don't do it yet. Where I turn my screen share off and we make my screen big. Just because if the code does work, I want to kind of play the game like visibly. But I need to make sure that it works. So I don't want to. Yeah. Let's just see. Well, I've made it extra tough on myself because I only have 6. I'm only installing this on 7 blinks, so I'll have one door, and I have to make the perfect combination with the other 6. Although presumably there'll be things that want to be off. Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold on, just for my own benefit. Sort of. Okay. I'm a genius. Okay. All right. Let's do the thing. I want to stop sharing. Okay. Tell me if it's. Am I all camera? Make it bigger. Yeah. I could have made this. I'm gonna cheat really quick and make this a little. Yeah. Just based on the time of the night, this might be where the sort of the prototyping ends. Although, dude pants. I mean, like, I will. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna upload this code on my GitHub. So if you want to play around with it, I mean, this is very basic in this state. All right. It's just turn off. If you just turn off the view, you don't have to crop anything. Just turn off the gallery view, and mine will just be full size. Okay, great. So, how does this look? Hold on, let me try. I gotta direct this. Okay, so, wow, that is tough. All right, hold on. That's workable. Okay, so we've got a puzzle here. It wants blue, red, yellow. Blue, red, yellow. I've done it. It's celebrating. All right. Now, unfortunately, the timer is 20 seconds. Okay, now it wants 3 greens, which I have to make. And now it needs a yellow. Boom, got it. Right? Now, I've given myself 20 seconds, which is very long. But thinking about thinking about, these suggestions made, Twister is a lot like this where, okay, I need 2 reds, which go here, 2 yellows, which I have to click all the way through to get, and a blue. Got it. There's my thing solved. Now 20 seconds is an extraordinary amount of time to give myself. But, thinking about like the suggestions that were made, this one's asking for 2 greens, a blue, and a red. Right. Sorry. This is already kind of amusing. Like, sitting here and waiting for it and then trying to make these work. So what I'm thinking is you're talking about things like, making, having these expire or running through the deck. I'm thinking about like, okay, well, maybe you could only click each of these a certain amount of time, right? So I need to strategically go, yeah, I could make this blue one yellow, but I have to click it twice to do that. I mean, do I want to wear down that much of this thing's life? Like, oh crap, I've missed that. And so thinking about color adjacencies and like, okay, the next color for this is green. Maybe that's the one I should use. Or thinking about the fact that like, it may never be as simple as color. I'm also thinking like right now, these are full color blinks. I click this and everything changes. What if they were rainbow blinks, right? And every time you used a face to solve a puzzle, it disappeared forever, right? It ate that face. And so you were permanently short a red one, right? And so now you're trying to figure out, okay, well, I don't want to, because now you're resource managing. You're like, okay, I got to make sure to keep a certain spread of resources so that if something calls for 3 greens, I've got, again, I'm just spitballing here, but a game that complex can start this simple. And as you can see, I mean, I don't know, I'm sure we were timing this in some capacity. How long did this take us? I mean, how long have we been doing this? No, I mean, how long is this production, how long is it taking me to program this? When did we start? Oh, 52. Yeah, so in an hour, I made a thing that can communicate basic colors, can display those colors, can display celebration states, can evaluate its neighbors, uses a timer to give you a time limit. Now, for instance, right now, you have no idea knowing how far you are on the timer, right? Like, you could be just a minute from losing or way at the beginning. But those are all things that you develop over time with the games. But this will get you, an hour of development can result in, a usable prototype. Something that I could give this game to Jen right now, who's unfortunately was knitting and is now sitting in the dark because I had to turn the lights off. She's being very patient. Do I have a link to the GitHub? I haven't put this on GitHub yet, but I will just send you. You know what? Let's make it less Blair Witch in here. Hold on. I'll tell you that. You know what? I'm straight up going to make it right now. I'm going to do it live. Well, now I'm confused. I'm going to make a new one. What should we call this? What do we want to call this repo? I'll give. I know there's a lag. Oh, no, I want to see it. Maybe Dragon Soul or Underdog. They have. We're going to call this Twister Code, Door Twister, Combo Code Twister Door, Color Click, Blink. I'm just saying words. Suggestions? Doorways. Dreamscape. Doorscape. Doorscape. We're going to call it Doorscape. I'm going to make this repo. It's public. Create repository. All right. Mary, if you could post this in the chat, I will put this code that we wrote today in that repo. and then you can have at it. And yeah, yeah. I mean, this is this. You know what's funny? Again, we made this in like a few minutes, but I am compelled. Like, that 20 seconds is an extraordinarily long time. I will tell you that if you actually wanted to sit down and play this, you really need to set the time lower. Let me just yeah, you got to set the time lower because 20 seconds is so easy that it's trivial. But yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in. As I know we've said throughout today and yesterday and will tomorrow, we've got a new Kickstarter coming on Tuesday, October 20th. We're going to have several new offerings, a new Blinks game system that comes with 9 Blinks and 9 games. It's a great way for new customers to enter. So if you have friends or family that have played Blinks at your house and really like it, but aren't sure if they want to get the 6-pack or the 12-pack, they're not sure about the cost or whatever, the 9-pack is the answer. The Blinks game system is a great new way in. If you already have Blinks and you want the latest and greatest new games, the Epic Adventure expansion, which is 6 new games from the developer community, from the Move38 interns, and from companies like Big Potato Games, one of the gold level sponsors of SHUX, also running a Kickstarter right now with Shut Up and Sit Down. So amazing 6 new games, new Blinks game system for new customers, and of course you'll always be able to get developer kits and join the developer community and make stuff like this. Yeah. So put the link in there. But I think, where did I drop? I did it in Discord. I can do it in Slack. Yeah, sorry, I've completely forgot. Anything special you can share we don't know? Oh, uh, um, yeah. So I think I can say, without breaking too many rules, that there are some other members of the forum that I have spoken to recently about a game of theirs that is very good, and that we are going to have in the wings in case the Kickstarter does particularly well. So there'll be there is a 7th game that is in a late to nearly finished state of development that we are keeping warm in case we decide we want to do something with it. So if you're a member of the forum, you've probably already tried it out, and you might be excited to see that it has sort of secretly been sort of elevated a little bit. So we'll get that info out soon, but it'll be real fun. Turn these off now. I'm gonna play this game. This is it's not bad. Pretty good. Yeah, I think we'll cut for now and go back to the video. But thanks everyone for joining, and tomorrow I will not be late from trains, hopefully, and we can do this again. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Here we go. Hey everybody, we're making your developer kits. Check out our packing party. Can't wait to be shipping all these out to you. We've been working real hard. Looking forward to sending you your blinks.